it going? Welcome to the Guitar Effect. My name's Rob. In this episode I'm going to be talking about my new Gretsch 5622T. But before I do, I'd ask you to please like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you can be kept up to date every time I put out a new video. So here it is. This is, if I can maneuver it here, this is my Gretsch 5220T. So this is a semi-hollow body Gretsch guitar. It's like the size of a Gibson 335 kind of configuration. It has a center block running down here, so it's not fully hollow. It has a bigsby. And it's just a really, really great guitar. So I guess the first thing I want to do is give you guys a listen to it. So here it is in the track. So just to tell you kind of why I picked this up, I already have, this is from the electromatic series, by the way, which is not the entry level and not the pro spec. It's like the middle level, mid-priced, 700 to $1,000 kind of thing in terms of euros anyway. This is the mid-level Gretsch, and I already have the Jet equivalent, and the Jet is Gretsch's answer to kind of a Les Paul. And while it appears like it's fully hollow, it actually has semi-hollow cavities inside it, but there's no F-holes. So I really like that guitar. It has a really individual character, and I actually have a video made about it, which I'll stick a link up to here. So recently I sold off some gear, I amassed some money, and I wanted to get something new. So I had sold enough to buy a new guitar. So I picked this up secondhand off of adverts.ie, which is a free ads website here in Ireland. I think I paid €450 for this in its own Gretsch branded hard case, which is an amazing hard case, which is an absolute steal. These are about €800 new. This isn't the current model. The current model, I don't know the ways exactly that it's different. I don't think there's any material differences. I just know that it's available in two different colors. It's available in like a blue and a sunburst, but this is what's called Imperial Stain. So what I'm going to do now is throw a few pictures up on screen and go through the specs and show you what the specs of the guitar are. Okay, so starting off with the body is made of laminated maple. It has a gloss Imperial Stain finish, and it's a like semi-hollow body with a center block. The neck is made of maple, the neck has a gloss finish, and the neck shape is a thin U. And the scale length of the neck is 625 millimeters. The fingerboard is laurel and the radius is 305 millimeters. That's 22 frets and they are medium jumbo frets. The nut is a Graph Tech new bone nut and it's 42.8 millimeters. The bridge pickup is a blacktop broatron. The neck pickup is a blacktop broatron. Controls are one neck pickup volume, one bridge pickup volume, one master tone, and then one master volume switch. It has a 3-way position switch, neck, middle, bridge. The bridge is anchored adjustomatic. The hardware finish is nickel. The tuning machines are die cast sealed, and as I mentioned, the colour is imperial stain. So yeah, really well put together, built with really nice materials. Guitar that acoustically, it's beautiful sound. It's got a Bigsby with a lovely vibrato action. Yeah, so I'm really happy. I will say that I don't love this as much as I loved my Gretsch as soon as I got it out of the box. Or sorry, not my Gretsch, my Gretsch Jet as soon as I got it out of the box. It's a different beast. The larger body and hollow body thing is a different thing. So the jury is still a little bit out for me on it. I like to live with a guitar for a good while before I make a decision about whether I'm going to keep it or not. This is erring on the side of keeping, but I've only had it for about 2 weeks, so I really need to play it for a much longer time. So let's take a listen to it, I guess. So here are the sounds. Okay, so I'm going to keep the audio demo of this guitar really simple today. So basically I have my guitar with a wireless lead coming out of the output into the input of my amplifier. My amplifier is the Koch Studio Tone 20 head. It has 3 channels, clean, dirt, and basically more dirt. And I'm going to go through some clean sounds, some mid sounds, and some lead sounds. And there's a spring reverb in the amp that I have on, say, maybe just past half, right? So I'm going to start on the neck pickup on the clean sounds, right? And I think that some of my, like, the stuff I really like about the guitar and some of my concerns about the guitar will come through pretty clearly here. So starting off with the clean sound, it's got that's a neck pickup. So the real thing I really like about it, it's really, really sensitive to where you pick. So this is like standard in between the pickup settings. Moving over like further up the neck. I'm only moving over the bridge pickup. I'm not moving a huge amount, but you can get lots of different tones out of the guitar by doing that. So then just demonstrating some different things in that pickup. So it's really nice for kind of, it's bright, like, you know, so. And then the middle setting, same kind of thing, gets even brighter. Lovely action on the Bigsby. That's with the volume on the guitar full. I'm going to go back to neck pickup and start talking about the controls a little bit. So, the neck pickup on full. As soon as I start to roll this master volume down, that kind of works nicely. Treble starts to bleed away in a pretty big way. It's a lot more mellow. Still pretty usable though. Nice as well compared to. I've no pedals on, I just have the volume on my amp driven to like 2/3. That's normally what my clean sound would be. neck pickup with the volume up full, so then as I roll off it cleans up. This is a significant amount of treble. So you can hear the treble coming back in. I think I might have to fit a treble bead to the master volume pot. So the way the controls in this guitar work, this is your master volume, this is the volume for the neck pickup, volume for the bridge pickup, and overall tone. So starting with the neck volume, it's way more severe or sudden than the master volume. Not a good volume. I'll probably have to replace. Bridge volume. Just a stupid design. Okay, so this is the neck volume, this is the bridge volume, and this is the overall tone. Okay, so really great travel on the tone knob. You can get a lot of different levels of brightness out of that. So bridge volume. Okay, so the bridge volumes, maybe I'm misperceiving the neck volume. Seems to die off very quickly. Okay, so the interesting thing about the layout on a Gretsch guitar, so much of the time, is this volume knob can be combined in the middle pickup selector switch section to combine these two volumes. So I want a little bit less neck pickup. Now, this is again something I've discovered with this guitar in terms of like how well it's put together. That's both pickups. As soon as I roll back like a 10. It's literally right at the end of the volume knob where it turns back to a blend sound. The volume control on these two knobs is not enough to allow you to manipulate the blend sound of these two pickups as much as I would want to. So I think I'm going to have to upgrade all the pots on this guitar. They don't have enough traveling, they're too on and off. Okay, so that's the clean sounds, right? So I'll just go through the bridge pickup with different levels of intensity. That's why I love Gretsch guitars. Bridge pickup sound, and then like neck pickup, or the same thing as I was playing the neck. You get that really kind of tactile top end that allows you to be articulate. I will say, I don't get it as much as I do off my Jet. Yeah, it's got a very hollow body character to it. Gretsch guitars just really are their own thing. So I'll move on to the overdrive sounds now. Okay, so I've switched over to the dirty channel of my amp now. I'm on the bridge pickup and the gain on the amp is at about, again, 2/3, and it sounds like this. So gainy enough sound. Pretty glorious bridge pickup rock sound. So hollow body guitars have to me, in my mind anyway, in my perception, have an unmistakable characteristic about them, again, that they sound hollow. They're missing a particular mid-frequency range that like a solid body electric has. And when you pair that with these filtertron or filtertron humbucker hybrid style pickups, it gets a quite particular. So, I'll just demonstrate a few different sounds with the bridge pickup name. So, full on gain. Winding back the volume to half. So I kind of find that in a clean setting, or a more cleanish setting, a treble bleed will be advantageous. I don't need it as much when I'm trying to clean up a proper dirty sound. Full volume. It's almost like the extra treble sort of makes more sense in the context of when you're going between those two sounds. Full volume. Rolling the tone off. The tone knob is useful there in being able to tame the top end that comes off these style of pickups. Sets to take on a more humbuckerish characteristic to me there. When I'm rolling the tone up full, it gets more bright than a regular humbucker to me. There's an interesting thing about demoing semi-hollow body guitars. They're so loud in the room that you really have to have your monitoring system up quite loud to be able to hear the actual sound of the guitar over the sound of the acoustic sound of the guitar. So actually, just to demonstrate that for a second, if I roll the master volume off, this is an incredibly loud guitar when not plugged in. I think you can kind of hear some of the kind of mid-range characteristics. So that's the bridge pickup, middle setting with both volumes on full. Kind of jangy. And the next set. I wouldn't normally ever really use a fully neck setting for a kind of a strummed distorted part. This does have an interesting characteristic there for those kind of like partial chords. Like there's a lot of bass end and it has a characteristic sound, but it's usable. Now for kind of riffy stuff, it's tight, doesn't have overly big bottom end that makes those kind of things a problem. Okay, so then switching over to my lead channel now. It's like a high gain version of the same sound. Koch has 3 channels. Okay, so wouldn't be my first choice for like very high gain sounds. Clean sounds gorgeous. Low to mid gain sounds really nice, but I think lacks that certain mid range. You can EQ the amp differently for that really high gain thing. Yeah, cool. So there's the sounds. So there you go. Overall, I think if you're looking for a semi-hollow body that's not a 335 style, you know, these broatron pickups have their own thing going on. They're kind of more hollow in the mid-range, and that combined with the... I don't know if they're hollow in the mid-range. They have a different mid-range character. Maybe the mid-range is in a different place than the standard humbucker would be. The semi-hollow body obviously gives it a definitive tone of its own as well. I think other than the knobs, the pots not having enough travel in them, I mean, the pots really feel great. You know, they don't feel like cheap pots or anything like that, and everything's really solid and sturdy. I just think that the pots are not gradual enough for my taste. They're too on-off. Other than that, the guitar is finished absolutely immaculately. I lowered the action when I got it, which was a really easy operation to do, and I intonated it really easily, and the tuners are really high quality, and like strap buttons are that Gretsch strap button thing. In fact, I will say one thing. This is my second guitar with these Gretsch strap buttons. And how this works is, this strap button here, you screw the top off, you put your strap on and you screw the thing back on, as opposed to like looping your strap over it like you would. And both the guitars I have, when you try to take the strap button off, the entire assembly sort of pops out of the guitar. It's really hard to get back in. It's a weird system. But other than that, that's the only complaint I'd have. That and the knobs. I love the sound of the pickups. Everything's built really, really well. Overall, like I said, I'm going to play it for a while and see how I really, really feel about it. But first impressions are I'm pretty happy. So, yeah, the 5622 by Gretsch. A different take on the 335, and also coming with the bigsby at that price is pretty good value. So, if you've watched this far, I say thank you for watching this far. If you have done and you enjoy what you've seen, maybe like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos. If you have any questions about the guitar or anything like that, throw them in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to answer. And I guess I'll see you in another video again soon. Oh, and